Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Cerberus Podcast. I am your host, Christian_CFS, and our co-host is not here. He's on vacation, enjoying his great time. Miss K Camp, I hope you having a great vacation. We're gonna hold it down for this half, and he will be back next week for the Week 7 recap. But yeah, let's get into it. And what Mr. K Kemp always says, Shalom Al Kim to you means peace be unto you. Because we need peace on this earth and we need good people also. But yeah, man, how was y'all's weekend, man? Hopefully y'all had a great weekend. Enjoyed the football games. There was some great games out there, especially the Thursday night game. And let's talk about those games, man. Let's talk about it. But before we talk about it, if you are loving this video, make sure give us a thumbs up, 5-star ratings, and we're going to kick it right off and go straight into it. Man, you already know what we talk about all the time. It is those injuries. Injuries. So we know we had a couple of injuries that set us back a little bit. The injuries like what Mr. K Camp normally does, and let's kick it off. Fred Warner, 49er fans, I am sorry. One of the best linebackers did end up getting injured, carted off the field with the air cast. Most likely, we already know that season injury. This is San Francisco's defense has already lost Nick Bosa this year. The offense has been missing Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Ricky Pearsall, and Brandon Ayuk. Still has not returned yet. He's still on the pup list trying to make his way back. But then Marvin Harrison Jr. injured during the game. He was sent to the locker room for the first half after his head slammed into the turf on a catch. He is in the concussion protocol. Without Harrison, Zay Jones ended up doing 5 passes, or ended up catching 5 passes for 79 yards. And Michael Wilson hauled in 4 for 44 yards. So hopefully, and praying for a speedy recovery for Marvin Harrison Jr. Puka Nacua ended up getting injured as well. But he did end up coming back into the game, but it was only sparingly. I think he only ended up doing like 6 plays. So it wasn't much. But be on the lookout for Puka, especially they're considering him day to day. And then the rookie phenom who has been hitting the NFL by storm, Mr. Emeka Ibuka, ended up having a hamstring injury. So we know with hamstring injuries, hopefully it is not severe. Hopefully he does not miss 4 weeks. If he does not, hopefully you have like his backup. Well, technically it's not his backup. It is Mr. Mike Evans. Hopefully he's able to come off injured reserve soon and actually be able to play to go right back into his starting role. If not, we do know we got Chris Godwin there, but Emeka Ibuka, hamstring injury, roughly going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. Let's continue to go. Mr. Garrett Wilson injured update. Mr. Garrett Wilson suffered an injury during the Sunday morning game in London. Despite Aaron Glenn telling reporters that Wilson has a hip injury, it was reported on Monday that the receiver is dealing with a hyperextended knee. So we already know what's going on up in New York. We already saw that big altercation between Garrett Wilson and then Aaron Glenn. We can read in between the lines. We know the Jets are 0-6, so we're going to see what they're going to end up doing during right before the trade deadline. The next we got to think about is Mr. Trey Hendrickson injury for the Bengals edge rusher. Suffered a back injury. We do know he is trying to get paid, and with him being injured, I guess the Bengals did do the right call. Did the right call in not giving him that extension to let him actually be able to go and hit the market. The one thing we want to look out for is, can he be a possible trade target? Can we be a partial trade target? We're going to talk about him more in depth later on up on the episode. But let's continue to go. Mr. Kyler Murray injured, was ruled out for week 6 because of a foot injury. So they had Jacoby Brissett step into the game. And let's be honest, man, did the Cardinals look better? Like, that's what I'm asking you out there for, like, did the Cardinals look better with Jacoby Brissett? Yes, we know Jacoby Brissett is a great backup, which would probably be decent in a couple games. But what is Kyler Murray not doing that Jacoby Brissett was doing? Please leave it down up in the comments right now so we can have that communication back and forth. And let's see what is Kyler doing that Jacoby did. Next, some of the notable Week 6 injuries, Baltimore injury woes. They lost left tackle Ronnie Staley. We know that Lamar Jackson is still out for the hamstring. Then the edge rusher, Tavares Robinson, Eagles D-line Jalen Carter sat out Thursday night against the Giants. And then also the Eagles also lost Quinion Mitchell on Thursday night to a hamstring injury. And the Colts backup QB Anthony Richardson suffered an orbital fracture while warming up before the game. Let's not also forget the Colts also lost quarterback Jarvis Ward in pregame warmups. He suffered a concussion. I don't know if y'all saw that. He ended up colliding in with his own player as they was doing warming up. And yeah, man, hopefully he gets speedy recovery, because that's the one thing, concussions, especially doing warm-up, it was actually really helping the Colts defense out there, being that lockdown corner for them. The Rams backup Blake Corum exited with an ankle injury in the first half. Cardinals running back Emir DeMarcado left Week 6 with the ankle injury. And Browns tight end David Njoku exited Week 6 early. So with David Njoku exiting, and you know you got Dylan Gabriel out there, you already know who they about to vault into that position. Fannin is about to take off. And if you do got some shares of Fannins, be on the lookout for him. Let's see what Dylan Gabriel is going to do with him. And then we also got to talk about Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid. Sat out Monday night's games against the Falcons due to an oblique injury. I don't know about you guys, but I had Dalton Kincaid in my lineup and totally forgot to take him out and end up losing my fantasy matchup because I left Dalton Kincaid in. End up losing by 2 points, everybody. 2 points. How many of y'all left Dalton Kincaid up in y'all's lineup because they said at last minute that he wasn't going to play? But as good GMs, what we do, we learn from our mistakes and we roll on to the next week. And let us know, man, how are y'all doing in y'all's fantasy matchups and like in y'all's fantasy leagues? Like, what's y'all's best rusher and like what's y'all's best team? Like, let us know down up in the comments. And speaking of down in the comments, if you are looking for one of the dopest, the hottest communities out there, please hit the link below in the Discord and either join our Patreon. We are the CFS Playmakers. Join the community to get more involved with one of the hottest and dopest communities out there for fantasy football, where we are discussing from high school players that are coming up into college all the way to future studs that are coming out of high school, going into college, and then also what they're going to do in the pros. So we're trying to always be ahead of the curve. So go on and join the Discord, or just hit us up on Patreon. The links will be below. But let's go on and get into it. That next segment right there, those was our injury report. But let's get into the Week 6 recap. Week 6 recap. And was it a beauty? Week 6 recap started off on Thursday night. Thursday night with a bang, man. The Giants did what nobody expected. Put in both of their rookies. Mr. Jackson Dart started, and also Mr. Cam Skattebo started, and then shocked the Philadelphia Eagles 34-17. Some of the stats that was actually out there for the rookies, Jackson Dart had 17 passes for 17 completions for 195 yards on 2 touchdowns and 1 rushing TD. And also Mr. Cam Skattebo had 98 yards rushing on 3 TDs. I know if you have Mr. Cam Skattebo up in your fantasy leagues, y'all was loving that. But did you expect that, though? Did you expect that? And if you did expect that, What do you think he's going to do this week? Because once he showed up this week, you know they're going to game plan about him for week 7. So let's put down up in the comments what you think his stat line is going to be. What did you think his stat line is going to be? And man, the narrative out there is that the Giants bullied Philly up front. Like, it seemed like Philly wasn't there. Yes, we know Jalen Carter was not in. And we saw what happened up on week 1 when Jalen Carter wasn't in the lineup. And the one thing that some of the buzz out there that I want y'all to keep in line when it comes to this matchup, and since the Giants did end up losing Malik Neighbors, I don't space. We believe that the Giants are in hunt for a wide receiver doing right before the trade deadline. So don't be shocked if Jerry Jeudy, Chris Olave, or maybe even Stephon Diggs is traded. But I think Diggs is going to be slightly because I think he is building that rapport with Drake May. But let's just keep that up on the radar, man. I believe, man, if y'all already got Jackson Dart out there, he's going to be a great stash for you, worthy in Superflex, especially if you are in need of a quarterback. So let's go to the next game. Next game, we're going to talk about the Broncos and then the Jets London game. Stats out there, man. 9 sacks on Justin Fields. I don't know what is going on in the Jets, but they are not looking good, especially with the Jets only doing 82 total yards. Come on now, like what's going on up there in New York? Y'all let me know. Like, what do you think is going on? Is it the defense? Is it the offense? Is it because Justin Fields isn't the guy, which he's trying to get that contract? And we're totally seeing right now that he does have some sparks, but he is being the Justin Fields that we saw up in Chicago. But is he playing himself into that next contract? I don't believe so, especially with the 0-6 start. And some of the fantasy impacts, man, the Jets wide receivers unplayable until line improvements. So we don't see that offensive line improving anytime soon. So if you have Garrett Wilson, what are you doing with him? Let us know. Like, what are you doing with Mr. Garrett Wilson? Are you trying to actively trade him, hoping he gets traded to somebody that can actually use his services? What are you doing? And then the narrative out there, man, is Aaron Glenn on the hot seat? Offense is historically bad, and one of our playmakers ended up sending us a message up in the group chat and wanted us to know, like, we want to come bring this to you. Let us know. He ended up writing, he was like, the Jets have fallen to 0-6 and are poised to trade a lot of their players at the deadline and play for the number 1 pick. If they do you think Breece Hall will be traded? And do you think the Chiefs should go after him? What are some other options for Breece to succeed at? Playmaker, thank you for that comment. Thank you for that question. But let's get into it and let's answer it. What do we think some of the players are going to do in the Jets? Is Aaron Glenn on the hot seat? I believe he's already on the hot seat. 0-6, not showing any poise on getting better. We've already seen coaches get fired in their first season with only like less than 6 games. And is Aaron Glenn an actual scapegoat? We don't know. We don't know what the narrative is. The narrative is on Mr. Aaron Glenn. But the one thing I will say is when it comes to Mr. Breece Hall, can I see him getting traded so they can get assets? Definitely. I really do think we can see him getting traded. And to the Chiefs, that would be really good. But what are they giving up in return? Like, are they going to trade away Isaiah Pacheco? They give up some assets. What? Isaiah Pacheco and what, a 3rd-round pick? Maybe 4th-round pick for Breece Hall? And if Mr. Breece Hall does go to the Chiefs, does that vault up their offense? Most definitely. Especially, who do they have coming back week 6? They have Mr. Rashee Rice coming back week 7. He did his time. He did his suspension, and now he's ready to get back into the spotlight. Let's see what Mr. Raji Rice is going to do, and if they are able to get Breece Hall, I think the Chiefs will be able to take that next step. A lot of people counting them out. A lot of people saying that, hey, I'll be shocked if they go 2-4 up in the first games. Some said that they can probably go 1-5. Very true. But did they? No, they did not. They ended up going 2-4. It's okay. Now they're going to try to get up on a roll and keep it moving forward. Some of the people said that they could see the Chiefs going 2-4. But did they do that? No, they did not. They ended up going 3-3, 500 ball. Now let's see what they're going to end up doing next. And I would love to see Breece Hall go there. Some other places that could use a running back. Let's not forget what happened out there. And this is just only if they need a guy just for right now. Because they already got their guy up in the future. We already know Omarion Hampton is already hurt. You could see Breece Hall maybe go to the Chargers if the Chargers are trying to get there, depending on how severe Mr. Omarion Hampton's injury is. But they did already have a good performance with Mr. Kenny Vidal, so they might not go that way. Some other options that we could think about and other teams are some of the other places that I can think about is what if Breece Hall got traded to the Commanders? I know they got their rookie out there, Mr. Bill Crosby. But what if he actually ended up going to the Commanders? I think that would be a great fit. That would also help out in the run game. Do they need him, though? This is a very interesting market, especially with some of the teams that actually need running backs. One of the ones that we just mentioned was the Chiefs. So we're going to see what's going to happen up on the we're going to see what's going to happen, man. We're going to see what's happening up on the trade deadline. Let's get into it, man. The Rams versus the Ravens, man. I don't know what's going on with the Ravens. Does not look pretty at all, especially with Cooper Rush back there. But Derrick Henry did end up having a 100-yard game. His first time in a while since week 1. But some of the key things that actually happened in that game, we know Puka Nacua ended up getting hurt, and he is day-to-day. The Rams defense is elite again. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think it is? Should the Rams buy a wide receiver for depth during the actual trade deadline? Y'all let us know, what your thoughts about that. And do the Ravens need more pass? Do the Ravens need a more of a pass pro rush? Cancel that out there. Let's go to the next game, man. We're going to rattle this off pretty quickly, man. The Cowboys versus the Panthers. Everybody thought the Cowboys was going to end up winning this game, but they did not. Dak Prescott, historic line, no turnovers, but the defense collapsed when it mattered the most late into the games. The Carolina Panthers ended up stealing the game. Mr. George Pickens ended up going off for 168 yards and a touchdown in that game. But the thing about it is, and the narrative out there is, what is going to happen to Mr. George Pickens when Mr. CeeDee Lamb comes back? Do we all really think that George Pickens is going to continue to do those same numbers? What do you think? If you do, let us know down up in the comments. What numbers are you expecting for Mr. George Pickens to produce when CeeDee Lamb does come back into the lineup? Because I cannot see him going for 168 yards while Mr. CeeDee Lamb is back in the lineup. We do know the first couple of weeks he will be a little shaky, just trying to get back based off the injury. But let's give him time. Let's see what he's going to do. And y'all let us know, is George Pickens going to do what he's supposed to do? And let's not forget, man, Carolina stole this late in the game. Bryce Young ended up doing what he did. Word on the street is that they're going to go back to the cardiac cats because they was giving those Panthers fans cardiac. They don't know what's going to end up happening going back and forth. But at the end of the day, we know we got to keep going and keep pushing forward, especially Mr. Rico Dow out there doing his thing. Rico Dow ended up doing. Now they have a big decision to make with Mr. Chuba Hubbard coming back in week 7. Yes, we know Chuba Hubbard will be the starter back again because Rico is the backup. But can we see more for like a 60-40 push? Chuba's still going to get his, or could it be like a 50-50 split? Y'all let us know down up in the comments what you think is going to end up happening. Let's go to the next game, the Seahawks versus the Jaguars. Seahawks end up doing their thing, sacked Trevor Lawrence 6 times, and JSN put on a show. 8 receptions for 162 yards and 1 touchdown. Seattle looked very physical out there and poised, and the Jaguars undisciplined out there with 10 flags. If the Jacksonville wants to be known as not the Jags of the past, they need to get that corrected ASAP. And what do y'all think Mr. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be coming up? Do you think he's going to continue to do his performances, or do you think he's going to go back into the closet to like what he did before? His only single-digit points, fantasy points. What do y'all need him to do as an owner of Brian Thomas? And what are y'all hoping him to do? Let's talk about it up in the comments. The next game, the Chiefs versus the Lions. Patrick Mahomes put on the show. 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing TD. The Detroit Lions had some timely mistakes, ended up costing them some of the game. But the one thing about we need to figure out during this game, we saw, and the Chiefs continue to show us all right now, they do not have a running game. So do we think they're going to be buyers for a running back? Could it be Alvin Kamara? Could it be Breece Hall? Or who's the other one that's the question mark out there that could fit the role that they are looking for? Y'all let us know. Let us know down up in the comments on some of the things that we can see the Chiefs go to that next level, because we all know what it is. They need to run it back. For some reason, Isaiah Pacheco is not back to what he used to be. And if he continues this up, we won't be shocked that they do end up going for a running back in the draft this year coming up. And see that they're going to have a high draft pick, whenever it's going to be at the end of the first round, or maybe even in the second round. Because we do know they did end up getting another rookie running back from SMU, Mr. Bouchard. So we can slowly see him coming into the swing of things towards the end of the year, maybe even sooner, in that Jameer McKinnon role. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen. And then we know Raji Rice is coming back. Let's keep it going. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's go to the Steelers and then the Browns. Steelers ended up showing off in the Browns, and Mr. Dylan Gabriel was being shown as a rookie. But it is a learning experience for him. He needs to get those reps. It's going to come in a timely manner. But Tomlin, I don't know if everybody saw the comments out there. Mike Tomlin trolls Cleveland, saying if they came into the league with Joe Flacco as their starter, they would have never traded him to a division rival in the Bengals. We know we saw that trade happen, and Joe Flacco is actually playing against Aaron Rodgers on Thursday night, which is going to be very funny. The people are already calling that game the Unk Bowl. The Unk Bowl. Let us know what y'all thoughts are with that future game coming up. The Unk Bowl versus the Steelers and the Bengals. Yeah, nothing exciting during this game. DK Metcalf still being DK. But let's go to the next game. The Raiders versus the Titans. We had a Michael Mayer sighting. Is Michael Mayer going to continue doing what he did? He had 5 receptions for 50 yards on 1 touchdown. But with Tennessee losing, Brian Callahan ended up getting fired. And now we have Mike McCoy as the interim. So did the Tennessee Titans give him a chance? Y'all let us know. Did they get a chance or did they not get a chance? The Titans opened for offers on vets. Which vets should they trade away? We know nobody's going to want Calvin Ridley because he just got paid. So if he was on that 1-year deal contract, then maybe somebody might want to try to get him, but do they really even want him? Because he has not been performing like what he did last year, especially during the contract year. And that's what we know most players, they do. They perform during that last year of the deal, and then they don't end up selling the deal. But let's not digress on that one. Raiders defense. Do you think let's go and get back to this. Like, would you stream the Raiders defense in fantasy versus bad offensive lines? Let us know. Is the Raiders defense good enough to stream in fantasy when they go against a bad offensive line? In the next game, the Patriots versus the Saints. This was a great matchup going back and forth. Drake May, 3 deep touchdowns and no red zone, and New Orleans red zone fails. Narrative, the Patriots are starting to find their way. Like, they are really starting to find their way. They are hitting on all cylinders right now. We can see what the head coach is doing right now in the Patriots offense. Like, we just saw that they ended up upsetting last week the Buffalo Bills, playing the Patriots way. And then we saw what they did against the Saints. It wasn't a straight blowout, but they did what they were supposed to, ended up getting the W. But let's talk about it. I mean, the Saints, trade market out there. Will they trade Alvin Kamara? Word on the streets, Alvin Kamara does not want to get traded. He wants to remain a New Orleans Saint. And it is, I guess since he's been there, he deserves like his right to that. But what do you think the Saints are going to do? Are they going to let him stay a Saint, or do you think they're going to trade him away if they get a good offer? Let us know down up in the comments. The Dolphins versus the Chargers. We all thought that the Dolphins was going to win this game. Nope, I'm just playing. I know y'all didn't think the Dolphins was going to win. We already knew the Chargers was going to end up winning, but this game was close than what we thought. Tua ended up having 3 interceptions, being regular Tua. But the one thing we need to know is that we know Miami is in the trade deadline is coming up. So what do you think is going to end up happening? Do you think they're going to go for like a DB, or are they going to trade away some of their pieces just to get some draft picks? Miami is historically bad right now. And what do you think they do with Mr. Mike McDaniels? We know his seat is rising and is getting hot. Can they trade a wide receiver like Mr. Jalen Waddle out there? And if they do trade a Jalen Waddle, where would y'all want to see Jalen Waddle land? Which teams out there is in need of a wide receiver like Mr. Waddle? Let us know down in the comments. Packers versus the Bengals. We had a Josh Jacobs sighting. Josh Jacobs showed out, and Joe Flacco showed out, especially for his first game with the Bengals. Ended up getting Jamar Chase involved. And I want to know, what do y'all think is going to happen with Mr. Joe Flacco and then this Jamar Chase connection? Will it be similar to what they had in like Joe Burrow? Let me know. Let me know how you think for the rest of the season Joe Flacco is going to distribute the ball to Jamar Chase. And I was talking with like one of my colleagues, one of my friends, and we was going back and forth, and I asked him a question, and I want to ask y'all too. Is Jamar Chase this day and age Tyreek Hill? And I'm not talking about the speed. I'm talking about fantasy purposes. Is he? Because we know Tyreek Hill during his prime, he was like a boom and bust player. Some days he'll give you like 3 points, and then some days he'll go out to be like 36 points. But he wasn't consistent. And as Jamar Chase owners, I know y'all want him to be consistent. Do you think he can be consistent with Joe Flacco as his quarterback for the remainder of this year? Let me know. Do you think he can be that type of guy? I think he can. But as an owner, are you kind of hesitant, not knowing like what type of Jamar Chase you're going to get based off the matchup? And if there is a wide receiver out there that is Mr. Consistent, who is it? And have you drafted that person? And if you did, what round did you get them in? Let us know if there's any consistent wide receiver out there that is given. And when I mean by consistent wide receiver, I mean a guy that's going to get me at least double-digit points. So the only thing I got to worry about, he might get me 10 points one week, but I know it's double digits. But then at most, he might go for 30. Not no 3 1 week, But if I know my guys getting me double digits, I'll take that. What wide receiver out there is giving us double digits? Let's just do the research and let's bring it back up on next week's episode. So let's get into it, man. We got a couple more games left, man. Man. The recap of the Colts versus the Cardinals. Colts versus the Cardinals. John R. Taylor ended up hitting the game winner. Daniel Jones ended up having 2 TD passes. Richardson was hospitalized pregame with optic fracture in his right eye, and Shane Steichen, man, resilient win, man. They are showing it. We're gonna see what they're gonna do, and can we say JT is back to the elite tier? Can we say it? Can we say it? And with that being said, we know we got a couple games that are going on right now up on Monday night. Who are y'all hoping that's going to end up winning? Do y'all have the Bills winning? Or do you have the Falcons? Let us know. Let us know. What games and who do you have winning on Monday night? Commanders. Let us know who y'all got winning. Let us know who you have winning during those matchups. But let's go to this next step and segment. We're going to talk about some of the trade rumors out there, and then we're going to go to the coaches carousel, and then we're going to end it with, what we got to do. We got to talk about Mr. yours truly, the host, Christian_CFS, versus Mr. K Camp, and our rival going back and forth each week with our rankings, our top 12 rankings. So let's go and get into it real quick. Some of the rumor board. The 49ers are looking at Mr. Hendrickson. Do you think that would be a good fit for him? We know he's on a 1-year deal. Can you see them re-signing him? We just know that we already talked about it before, that the Giants are freeing up cap space for a wide receiver hunt. Do you think if Cam Skattebo and Mr. Jackson Dart continue doing what they're doing in New York, and they find themselves a reliable, and I repeat, a reliable wide receiver right before or during the trade deadline, do you think they can save Mr. DePaul's job? And if they do go and have like a good record, what if they go 8-9 this season and like slightly miss the playoffs? Can y'all see Dayball coming back next season just to run it back again? Let us know. Man, the Cowboys, they need secondary help bad. This is one of the most historic, worst defense that we saw out of the Cowboys era. Then also the Packers. Will the Packers sell some of their edge rushers depth for some other needs that they need? And then let's continue to go down the line, man. The Jets. Are the Jets going to be shopping Mr. Breece Hall? And then, like what we said before, we already mentioned the Chiefs. We mentioned some of maybe the Commanders. Who are some other teams out there that you think that Mr. Breece Hall can end up going? And then the Saints. We talked about the Saints. What is Mr. Kamara's opportunities going to be outside of the New Orleans area? Is anybody in service for that? Who knows? But we know that Mr. Alvin Kamara wants to remain a Saint and always wants to be a Saint. The Jags and the Browns, man. The Jags and the Browns, they need some corner depth. Because it seems like for the Jags, they are playing Mr. Travis Hunter a little bit more at wide receiver and not getting as much burn on defense. But y'all let us know, Mr. Travis Hunter, like, should he be a wide receiver or should he be a cornerback? Let us know. What position do you think he should truly focus on? And then if you don't think he should just focus on one, tell us why. We want to know why he should be able to play both ways. Let's go on to the next segment. The coaches carousel, man, the hot seats. They are out there. We know Mr. Brian Callahan, just got fired from the Tennessee Titans. We know that Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat, I believe, in the Dolphins organization. Like, the writing's on the wall. Tyreek Hill's not there right now. They're not doing too well in their season. So y'all let us know. Should they fire Mr. McDaniels and go a different way? And if he does get fired, which team should he go back to, or which team should he go to that is looking for an offensive coordinator? Because I really think Mr. Michael McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator. Sometimes it's shaky. I think he would be in a better situation if he didn't have Tua as his QB, but you can only get with what you got. And then some of the other coaches that are on the hot seat, Mr. Aaron Glenn, like who we talked about before previously, can he get fired before the season ends? We've seen it happen before. Hopefully he does not. Hopefully they give him another chance to actually get his quarterback. And then, the Ravens are doing very bad right now, and this is not like how the Ravens normally operate. Seems like Mr. John Harbaugh is going to end up having his first losing season in a while. And Mr. Steve Fankansky, the Browns head coach. Let me just say that. The Browns head coach, like, what's going on in there? Like, the Browns are being the Browns. The coach wouldn't even name Mr. Shedeur Sanders, the actual backup quarterback. He was talking about having Zappy as the backup quarterback, not even bringing his name up during press conference. So we already know some tensions are already going there, especially up in the locker room right now. It is very turmoil in there. We do not know what's going on. And since we don't know what's going on, what do you think is the best option for the Browns? If they end up getting a new coach, what's going to happen? Who are they going to choose? Will Shedeur get a shot? Let us know. Does he deserve a shot? I think he does. When do you think he's going to get it? I say Dylan Gabriel probably has another 4 games. If Mr. Dylan Gabriel doesn't show any progress at all whatsoever, then I can see Shedeur getting his shot for the remainder of the season. Let's say he doesn't show any progress until like week 10. No progress whatsoever. Not showing that he's getting better. It might be Shedeur for the final weeks. And if Shedeur isn't performing, I can see them going back and forth. But what the kids need, they both need time in the pocket, and then they both need time on the field so they can get those reps. Mental reps are everything, but game reps are totally different during the regular season. That is the hot seats. Y'all let us know who should be on the hot seats. Should Dayball be on the hot seats, or is he safe right now because Cam Skattebo and the rookies are actually holding him up, like letting him float above water and everything? Let us know. Or is there any other head coaches that need to be up on the hot seat that we are not talking about? And you know what time it is. You know what time it is. We are going at it right now. It is, how did we do week 6? How did we do? This is the segment where Mr. K Camp and myself, we do our best to do our rankings showdown. So let me let y'all know how we did, man. Mr. K Camp, we know he has, for quarterbacks, he went 8 out of 12 with 2 possibles. So when I say possibles, just like I know if y'all got any spades players out there, you know what a possible is. We have 2 players that are performing in Monday night games right now. And with them performing right now in the Monday night games, he could end up being 10 and 12 for his quarterbacks, or he could end up being 8 and 12, or maybe even 9 and 12. But right now, Mr. K Camp is doing his thing, 8 and a possible 2 for the quarterback's position. And yours truly, Mr. Christian _CFS, myself, I am 7 and a possible. So not doing as well as Mr. K Camp, but hey, we are doing it and having fun with it. And for the running backs, Mr. K Camp has a 6 and then a possible of 2. 2 of his running backs are, we know who they should be. Monday night games, you know one of them got to be Mr. Bijan Robinson. And I know if you're watching them games, you seeing what Mr. Bijan going, so you know that he's at least about to be 7 and then a possible 1. 7 and a possible 1. And with me also having Bijan Robinson in my top 12, I'm going with the 8 and a possible 1. So his running backs are going to be 7 and a possible 1 out of 12. And then I will be 8 and a possible 1 out of 12. So we are doing very great in our quarterbacks and running backs. Stop there. Let's let it keep going. Wide receivers. I don't know what it is. Y'all let us know. Have y'all ever tried to rank the top 12 quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends each week? And if you have, how good have you been? Are you hitting? Are you getting them right? And if you are, let us know. I want to know what some of the strategies y'all are doing when you are determining who you're putting up in your top 12. We'd love to have a very good discussion about what y'all are doing up in when you're selecting your top 12 per each position for each week. But let's not forget about the wide receivers. Mr. K Camp and myself are both 3 out of 12. Just like what we said, man. I don't understand these wide receivers. Some are high, some are low. But we got 3 possibles in Monday night. 3 possibles in Monday night. We're going to hit. The most we can get is 50%. But we will see after Monday night games. The tight ends. Hey, man, the tight ends, we did it. We did it up. We both finished 8 and 12 in the tight end department. We both finished 8 and 12. Both finished 8 and 12. Great. That is a great. That's actually probably the best that we've done in a while, especially for the tight ends. It's pretty difficult trying to pick which tight ends are going to be top 12, but we're doing really good. So, the last and not least, let's talk about which Week 7 matchups y'all are trying to watch this week. And let us know, which players are you trying to trade for up in fantasy? If you are a contender, are you trying to go for some of those buy low candidates that you think that's going to get traded, like maybe a Breece Hall, maybe a Garrett Wilson, maybe an Alvin Kamara, maybe a Jared Judy? What are your thoughts on some of those actions? Because we know they need some help out there. What do you think is going to happen? What are some of those lineups and matchups that you're trying to watch in Week 7? I know one of the games I'm very interested in is the Colts versus the Chargers. That is one game I am interested in. And then the Bucks versus the Lions on Monday night. These are some interesting games that I want to see what's going to end up happening. And want to see. I can't wait until Thursday night on the Unk Bowl. Let us know. Let us know what matchups you are excited for. And with that, it's a wrap. Man, we want to thank everybody if you listen this far into the episode, we greatly appreciate your time, your energy, and everything that you are doing listening to this podcast. We greatly appreciate it. We do this for you guys, and we do it for everybody because we love talking about sports, the matchups, fantasy, and we also want to do our best to help you get better as a fantasy player. And if we are helping you out, just leave us a comment and saying thank you for what we're doing. And let's see some other things that you would like to see. Should we do another podcast or another segment on the channel of Cerberus Fantasy Sports to do something else? But let's not forget, let's give us a 5-star rating, like, comment, and share. And tell some of your friends about us, man. Give us, and we already know, a thumbs up is free. A subscribe is free. A 5-star rating is free. But we hope that you have a great and wonderful rest of your day, your time, and whatever you do. And if you listen to this as you're working out, continue to work out strong and always keep your head first in everything that you do. And until next time, we'll see you. And Mr. K Camp also next week. All right, peace. Y'all have a great evening.